A few years ago, both my wife and I were working quite hard. I was away on a trip, came back to find that my wife was ill. Within the space of a few weeks of me coming back, she developed meningitis, encephalitis, and she had a brain bug. She's in hospital, in a coma. It ended up with her being in hospital for a couple of years. We had to completely change the way that we were doing things. I had to be at home a lot with the children. I had to work through the night to catch up with work. And so one day coming home from work, I got knocked off my motorbike, had a serious accident, ended up in hospital. That didn't help. In the meantime, all the debts were piling up. The letters were coming, the phone calls were coming. I was trying to work my way through it. How are we going to do this? What do you do? How am I going to pay these people back? It's going to take me forever. And that kind of drove it even worse as well, made me more depressed. I wanted the problem to go away by numbing it, and that's why I started drinking heavily. So heavily I ended up ill in hospital. Quite seriously ill, mentally ill, having a big breakdown, made me have sleepless nights. Linda was struggling with her breathing problems, and it seemed to be that when another debt came through the door, it was almost cue argument, cue pressure, cue problem. We were in the same house but not speaking to each other, so everything was just unfolding into this horrible, horrible, dark circle of despair. I eventually spoke to someone about some independent debt advice. In the end, a son of mine suggested that I went to CAP. Phoned up CAP, they were lovely on the phone. Totally unexpected to what I thought I was going to get, and people shouting at me down the phone. It was totally unlike that at all. It was nothing like that. More like people asking you how you were, and just a genuine concern about us and about me. And that struck me as something a little bit different. This guy out called Tony, he was a debt coach, and a lady from the church called Sandy, who was a befriender. And they were lovely, absolutely lovely. They came on in, we got to the point of the debts, and there was just a huge pile of paperwork, and I thought, this is an absolute embarrassment. These people must think I'm a complete failure. And it was just like, no problem. They told us not to worry about anything at all. So if something comes in the door, just give them a shout or send it up to them, stick it in the post. This can't be this easy. It can't be. There's got to be a catch somewhere along the line. No catch. A smile had returned to my face, and a bit of happiness had returned. And it was the biggest pressure lifter I've ever felt in my life. They kept in touch with us all the time. That was the other good thing. Sometimes they would just phone up to see how we were. It was the curiosity then, off of the back of that got me more and more interested in what is this about, this church business? Because I couldn't understand why these people were happy to see you on a Sunday morning. And no one's happy to see me anytime, but that was a new one on me. And I started going to church. So now I've become a Christian, and a couple of years ago I was baptised. I've got a little wooden cross which I carry with me everywhere I go. It goes to me everywhere. When I go out, when I go to work, it's always in my pocket. And it's got a lot of meaning to me, and it reminds me of who I am, where I'm going, and who's there for me. A lady phoned me up from head office and said, I thought I'd give you a quick ring to say that you were debt free. And it was like one of those moments in life where you kind of, everything stands still. And I said, nah, you're joking me. I said, I've been with you guys ages, and it was almost like I didn't want to leave. Didn't want to leave CAP, can't leave me. And they said, you're debt free. I just couldn't get my head around it. I was just completely stunned. The last big burden had lifted and gone. It was like someone stuck you in it's like you're in one of them big balloons, you know, with the burner thing, and you're inside the basket and the final rope's been undone, and you just float away. You're away, gone, debt's there, it's finished, gone. It saved our life, it saved my life particularly. It's definitely saved our marriage, which was struggling. And it's made me a better dad and a better husband as well along the way. Sometimes the children say, "Dad, why are you so happy?" Because I am. I'm happy.